Hello students, today we will be doing influence line diagram for beams carrying 2-point loads. So the diagram here is the beam or the simply supported beam is carrying 2-point loads, that is P1 and P2, that are separated by a distance y, and the load, that is P1, is at a distance x from RA and at a distance L minus x from RB, and the span of R uh, and the span between A and B is L. So what we have to do? We have to calculate the reactions, shear forces and bending moment, that is the influence line diagram for all these three parameters. So let us find the reactions first. Now the reactions follow the same influence line diagram lines which we have solved for simply supported beam carrying a point load. So for any doubts you can refer that lecture number 8 for the further clarification. So let us solve now the reactions for this 2-point load problem. Now to find the reaction RA. Now to find the reaction RA, we know the influence line diagram for reaction RA, and the influence line diagram is a triangular in shape, that is it varies from 0 to 1 from B to A. So this is the influence line diagram for your reaction RA. Now how do we find the Z1s and Z2s? That is, we know that the influence line diagram for a reaction is in triangular shape. Now since we are having a 2-point loads, that is P1 and P2, I have to calculate the ordinates where these points are lying. Okay, wherever these points come and lie, I have to calculate the ordinate values of this. For the bigger triangle, I know the ordinate as what? This is 0 and this is 1. Now I have to calculate the ordinates for P2 and for P1. I will name the ordinate for P1 as Z1 and for P2 as Z2. Now how do I calculate Z1? Z1 using the similar triangles, that is the larger triangle divided by the smaller triangle. Now the larger triangle and the smaller triangle, Z1 divided by, that is the height divided by base of the smaller triangle, is equal to height divided by base of the larger triangle. In this way I will get Z1. On the similar lines I will get Z2. Now for Z2, the base is what? The base is this. Okay. Now what is this distance? Now this distance from here till here, that is L minus x plus y. So the base for Z2 is what? L minus x plus y. Okay, that's how we will get the value of Z2 as L minus x plus y divided by L. Now you have already got the ordinates of Z1 and Z2. Now how do we calculate the reaction at A? Now, reaction at A is calculated as load into influence line diagram value of the ordinate. Now what is the load means? Here whichever load is placed. Now we have P1 multiplied by this ordinate value plus P2 multiplied by the ordinate value, we will get the combined value of the reaction at RA. So we will be getting P2 multiplied by Z2 plus P1 multiplied by Z1. From this you will get total reaction at RA. Similarly, let us calculate for reaction RB. Now we know the influence line diagram for RB is a triangular shape. Again we have to calculate Z1s and Z2s. Correct. Now again using your similar triangle, we are going to calculate Z1 and Z2. Now you can see over here, height divided by base of the smaller triangle will be equal to height divided by base of the larger triangle. That is, if I am calculating for Z1, it is Z1 divided by this part. And how much is this? This is from here till here. That is in the main problem, from here till here. What is this value? This value is x. Okay. So this value is from here till here, this is x, and the distance between P1 and P2 is y. That's why the remaining distance will be how much? X minus y. So for Z2 it will be, the base is x minus y. For Z1 the base value is x. That's why we will be getting Z1 as x divided by L and Z2 as x minus y divided by L. Now how do we calculate RB? RB is equals to nothing but load into influence line diagram value of the ordinate. That is P2 multiplied by its ordinate plus P1 multiplied by its ordinate. We will be getting the reaction RB. Now let us calculate influence line diagram of the shear force. Now we already know influence line diagram, when the load is in portion AC, we will be getting it as minus RB. That is, just invert the influence line diagram for reaction RB. That is, when we are having a neutral axis here, on the top side we have positive, on the bottom side we are having negative. Just reverse it, place the loads and calculate the base values. That is, for P2 it will be x minus y, and till P1 the distance is x. Maximum shear force at C, that is negative, that is nothing but minus, that is nothing but shear force at C, that is RB, and that is of minus RB. You will get what? Load multiplied by the ordinate plus load multiplied by the ordinate. Okay, this negative sign is for showing that the load is in, or the shear force what you are getting is in negative side. These are mere the values. Now this we are getting the normal shear force. If I want the absolute maximum shear force, okay, absolute maximum shear force means that value is the maximum value throughout the section of the beam. There, when does it occur? When the load is on B, when the complete load is on B, that is when x is equals to L, we will be getting maximum absolute negative shear force when the load is exactly on B point, that is when x is equals to L. If I substitute the value of x is equals to L here, then I will be getting this equation. Okay, if I substitute x is equals to L in this equation, I will get minus P minus P1 minus P2 into L minus y divided by L. Similarly, now we will be calculating for positive shear force. For positive shear force, the load should be in CB section. When the load is in CB section, we will be getting the positive shear force, and the positive shear force is given by reaction RA. The influence line diagram for reaction RA is this. Okay. Now again calculate the values of Z1s and Z2s. This is, I will name it as Z1 and this I will name it as Z2, which we have already done in our previous values. So once you know the values of the Z1s and Z2s, we will be getting the maximum positive shear force. How we will be getting? That is nothing but summation of loads multiplied by its respective ordinates, that is P1 multiplied by Z1 plus P2 multiplied by Z2. If I substitute in the equation, I will be getting P1 into L minus x divided by L plus P2 into L minus x plus y divided by L. So, the maximum absolute positive shear force will be occurring at support A, that is when x is equals to 0. If I substitute the values for x is equals to 0, I will get the absolute maximum positive shear force. So, this is absolute maximum positive shear force and this is absolute maximum negative shear force. This is nothing but your RB when x is equals to L. This is nothing but RA when x is equals to 0. Now, let us go forward for influence line diagram for bending moment. Now, this is a general influence line diagram for bending movement. Okay, that is from the previous lecture you know how we have drawn this. Now, how do we calculate this values? Now, for AB, now I am going to keep here the load as P1. I will be assuming that load P1 is greater than P2. When I assume the load P1 is greater than P2, that time that ordinate AB by L will be for P1. For P1, what is the value of A? X. And the value of B is what? L minus x. This you can see from the original given problem. That is here. The ordinate for P1, that is from here till here, this is A and this is B. So, what is the distance of P1 from A support? It is x and the remaining is L minus x. So, when I substitute it as for AB by L, I will be getting Z1. Now, how do I get Z2? Z2 I will get it from my similar triangles. This you have to do when you are solving the problem. So, you have to find Z2 from similar triangles during analytical problems, and the bending moment is nothing but load into influence line diagram value of the ordinate, that is P1 multiplied by Z1 plus P2 multiplied by Z2. This will be giving you maximum bending moment at C. Okay. Thank you.